Hi everyone, my name is Valentina. Today we're going to be doing a practice that involves a lot of twists and forward bends. So we're going to need one block for our practice today. And then we're just going to come all the way down onto our back sides, finding ourselves in a Supta Baddha Konasana, recline bound angle. So bring the soles of your feet into touch and then your knees come out nice and wide. And then the closer you pull your feet in towards your sitting bones, the more intense the stretch is going to be on the inner thighs and the hips. So you can always just walk your feet further away from your tailbone for a little decreased intensity. Otherwise, you can also, if you have two blocks, you can bring them under your knees. And then I like to start with my hands on my belly, but you can also just rest your hands down on the floor. Inviting some nice, slow breaths into the belly. Starting to drop into your practice. Allowing yourself to arrive on your mat with every exhale. Feeling the swell of your belly as you breathe in through your nose. Feeling it deflate as you push that air out through the nose as well. And finding those nice, long, juicy inhales and exhales, letting our body know that it's safe, that it can shift into its rest and digest state, its parasympathetic nervous system, allowing that to kick on right here. And then we'll slowly start to bring our knees back in through center, and then move into our stomach churning pose to open up through the low back a little bit. So before we get there, we're going to just let our knees knock left and right just a few inches here, starting to warm up through the low back. Just left and right, giving that low back a nice little massage. Then you're going to let your arms come out to the sides of your mats. You're going to pick your legs up into a tabletop position here so that your knees are stacked over your hips. Feel that core engagement as your knees lift over the hips. And then gently you're going to start to let the legs fall over towards the left side of the mat, keeping your core engaged here the entire time. The legs are going to come all the way over towards the left side, keeping your right shoulder blade glued to the mat. And then keeping that core engaged, you're going to lift your knees back up through center. And then take it all the way over to the other side. So letting those legs fall all the way over towards the right side. Again, try to stay grounded through that left shoulder blade here. And then coming back through center, we'll do it one more time each side. Really gently opening up through that low back. And you don't have to come down all the way. Come as low as you can where it still feels comfortable in your body. Again, you should never feel any pain in any of your exercises. Maybe a little bit of tension or intensity, but distinguishing that from pain. And then last side, coming over to the right, breath out. Inhaling, coming back through center. Exhale, planting both of those feet back down on the mat. Now we're going to move into an L shape, a little bit of internal rotation for our hips. So with your left leg, you're going to step your left leg out 12 inches away from the mat. So stepping that left foot to the left 12 inches, and then letting your left knee knock in towards the center of your mat. Making sure that that left knee is still in alignment with that left hip. So if you were to look down at your left knee, it would be in alignment with the left hip. Now this already might be quite an intense stretch for you, so you can just stay here in that internal rotation on the left side. If you want to add a little bit of intensity, you can gently start to place the top of your right foot onto the top of your left knee, and then let the weight of your right foot drag that left knee down towards the earth to deepen that stretch through the left side. Again, if that bothers you at any point, please back out of it and just let the left knee rest down on its own. And then gently lifting that right leg up and off the left. And then the left leg is going to come back up. And stepping that left foot back in through center, we're going to take it over to the other side. That right foot steps out 12 inches here, a foot away from your mat. Dropping that right knee in towards the center of the mat once again. Looking down, making sure that right knee is in line with the right hip. Option to stay here, or if you want to add the intensity, gently placing that left leg on top of the right. And letting the weight of the left leg draw the right leg down. Seeing if you can invite those deep belly breaths in. Softening through the upper neck. And then gently picking that left leg off the mat. Planting it back onto the mat, lift your right knee. And then return both of your feet so that they're on the center of the mat. And then when you're ready, you're going to slowly start to roll all the way up. And then find yourself in a neutral tabletop position on your mat here for a moment. So making sure that you plant your shoulders directly on top of your wrists. And then your knees come directly under your hips here. We're going to move into a shoulder opener here. Thread the needle. So on your inhale, start to lift your right fingertips up towards the ceiling, gazing up towards those right fingertips. Left palm is still planted on the mat here. We're opening up through the armpits, full breath in. And then on your exhale, reach your right fingertips through your left arm, all the way over towards the left side of the room, letting your right ear melt down onto the mat. Now your left arm can stay planted right where it is, or you can extend it out in front of you. You can also take your left hand into a half bind, placing it on your low back. So finding one of the three options here that feels best in your body. Opening up through the rotator cuff on our right arm. Big breath in, big breath out, and gently planting that left hand back down. Inhale, reaching those right fingertips back up towards the ceiling. And then on your exhale, planting that right hand back down. We'll take it over to the left side. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Pause and breathe at the top here. Taking your gaze all the way up towards the left fingertips. Stay grounded through the right palm. Full breath in. And on your exhale, reaching those left fingertips towards the right side of the room. Left ear comes all the way down. And then again, right hand stays planted. Maybe it extends out in front of you. Maybe you find that half bind. Seeing if you can soften in to the left side. Full breath in. Full breath out. And gently planting that right arm back down. Inhale, left fingertips lift high. And on your exhale, plant both of your hands back down. Now we're gonna curl our toes under, full breath in. And on your exhale, downward facing dog, hips come up and back. Taking a moment here, find a little bit of movement. I like to lift my heels up and down a few times before settling my heels into the floor. And then I like to imagine that somebody had attached a string to the bottom of my tailbone and they're pulling me by that string. So I'm lifting my tailbone up towards the ceiling, pushing firmly into the palms of my hand, and then letting my chest drop lower towards my mat on the exhale. So take a full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale, start to gaze at the top of your mat. And on your exhale, take 10 tiny little steps so that you come to the top of your mat in a nice juicy forward fold. So from here, we're going to move into our Padahastasana, hands to feet pose. So we're going to slowly start to lift our toes off the mat and then scoop our hands under our feet here. Sorry, Padahastasana, hands to toe pose. Letting your forehead hang really heavy here. We're going to shift a little more of our weight back into our toes so that we take a slight compression of our hands here. Now, some people like a juicy bend in their knees to help release their low back. Other people like to straighten out their legs to take more of an intense hamstring stretch. So just find what's working for your body today. Maybe you're focusing on the hamstrings, maybe on the low back. And then seeing if you can let the neck hang super heavy here. Letting that blood start to fall into the crown of the head. Taking a full breath in, full breath out. And then gently starting to release your hands from under your toes. And then on your next inhale, slowly start to roll all the way up through center, 1 inch at a time, your head and neck coming up very last. Hands drop into heart center for a moment. Close your eyes or just soften your gaze as you find your breath at the top. Noticing what it feels like to be standing on our mats here. Noticing what the breath feels like in the body. And we're going to start to build a little bit of heat in our body. So gently opening your eyes back up, releasing your palms towards the floor. And then on your inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose, arms sweeping up overhead. Pull your glutes down and back and then breathe. Option here to widen your stance a little bit to support the low back. Otherwise, keep those knees touching. Reaching your fingertips out in front of you, drop the shoulders out of the ears. Starting to fire up through the quads, full breath in. And on your exhale, hands are going to draw into heart center. We're going to take a prayer or a chair twist over towards the right side of the room. So hooking your left elbow onto the edge of your right knee. You're going to push your palms into touch, keeping that prayer grip. And you're going to start to rotate your gaze all the way over towards the right side of the room and maybe even up towards the ceiling. Actively pushing that left elbow into the right thigh. Feel that twist through the thoracic spine. Full breath in. Full breath out. One more time, inhale. And on your exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana, release your hands to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, pause and breathe for a moment. Hands can float to your shins or maybe your thighs as you pull the crown of your head towards the mirror, or rather, the wall in front of you. Inhale. And on your exhale, low lunge, we're going to step our left leg back this time. So right foot stays grounded, left leg steps back. We're keeping our left knee off of the earth. And then on the inhale, crescent or high lunge, arms sweeping up overhead. Exhale, start to settle into your crescent lunge here. So that right knee is stacked over that right ankle. Your left heel is lifted high off of the mat. We're grounding down through the big toe and the heel, recoiling the arches as we gaze out in front of us. Palms are reaching up overhead, taking a full breath in and a full breath out. One more time, inhale. And on your exhale, warrior two, we're gonna rotate open towards the left side of the room. Take a minute to widen your stance here a little bit. 4 to 5 feet of space in between the legs here. Again, that right knee is still bent over that right ankle. Left leg is nice and straight. Finding that gaze over that right middle finger. Just building a little bit of heat here. See if you can stay with the breath. Inhale, we're going to slowly start to reach our fingertips forward. And on our exhale, coming into our extended side angle. So I like to tuck my arms to a 6 and 12 position here, as if my hands were hours, or rather, the hands on a clock. Sometimes I like to drop my right forearm down to my right thigh for a little bit of support, and then sometimes I also like to sweep my left fingertips towards the wall in front of me, rather than towards the ceiling. So find a variation that works for you here. If your right arm is reaching down towards the floor, try to push the right back of your hand into your shin, rotating open through those shoulders. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhale, slowly start to reverse your warrior, finding a deep bend through that right knee as you reach your right fingertips up and back. Inhaling through the nose. And then on your exhale, we're going to cartwheel our arms down back into our low lunge position. So frame your right foot with your hands. We're going to keep our left palm grounded onto the mat this time. Inhale, grounded twist. Reaching your right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Find that rotation through the shoulders. Inhale, reach a little higher. And on your exhale, high plank position, stepping your right foot back. Always an option to take a tabletop position if that feels better. Breathing in through the nose. And on your exhale, dropping down to your knees, your chest, and then eventually your chin. Inhale, Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. Pause and breathe. Start to lift and curl your chest off the earth, pushing your toes into the floor. Engage through the back line. Squeeze your shoulder blades down and back. Full breath in. And on your exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, lifting your tailbone up and back. Find a few rounds of breath here. We're going to take all of that over onto our left side. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, come through, forward fold your way, step, jump, or hop. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana, arms sweeping up overhead. And then on your exhale, hands draw into heart center. We're going to find our chair twist over towards the left side this time. So hooking your right elbow to the top of your left thigh. Palms are still pushing in towards each other. Try to rotate open through the shoulders. Maybe take your gaze even all the way up towards the ceiling. Knees are touching here. Full breath in. Full breath out. One more time, inhale. And on your exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold, release over your thigh. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. And on your exhale, right foot steps back this time, low lunge. Keeping your right knee lifted. Inhale, high lunge, crescent lunge, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, settle into your crescent lunge. Left knee once again stacked over that left ankle. Right heel is lifted. Recoil through the arches, push into the heel and the toe of your foot. Taking a full breath in. Exhale, can you sink 1 inch lower? So strong. Full breath in. And on your exhale, open up towards the right side of the room. Virabhadrasana 2. Take a moment, maybe find a little bit of movement before settling in to our warrior 2. That back foot is parallel to the short edge of your mat or slightly turned inwards whatever feels better in your body. And then finding that soft gaze over the front middle finger on the left side. Inhale, start to reach your left fingertips forward. And then exhale, extended side angle, tick-tocking your arms to a 6 and 12 position. You can also drop that left forearm to the left thigh. And then you can also sweep your right fingertips towards the wall in front of you to find that full extension. Avoid collapsing into the left side. We're not trying to dump down into the left side body. We're lifting up and out for a full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, slowly start to reverse your warrior. Stay committed to the lunge on the left side as you reach your left fingertips up and back. Feeling the stretch through your left oblique. Inhale. And on your exhale, cartwheel your arms down, frame your foot low lunge. Right palm stays grounded. Inhale, grounded twist, lifting your left fingertips up. Exhale, settle in here. Feel that rotation through the thoracic spine as you look up towards your left fingertips. Full inhale. And on your exhale, high plank pose, stepping your left foot back this time. Inhale. Exhale, dropping down your knees, your chest, and then your chin. Inhale, Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. Squeeze your glutes, lift your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Curl your toes up and back. We're going to flow through all of that. One breath, one movement. Starting at the very top, inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, come through, forward fold, step, jump, or hop. Inhale, chair pose, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, chair twist to the right side. That left forearm comes to the right thigh, staying for one breath in. One breath out. Inhaling. And on your exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, low lunge, step your left foot back this time. Inhale, high lunge, crescent lunge, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, warrior two, pivot open towards the left side of the room. Inhale, extend those left fingertips forward. Exhale, extended side angle, maybe sweep your fingertips forward or up. Inhale, slowly start to reverse your warrior, stay bent through that front right knee. And on your exhale, cartwheel your arms down, frame your foot. Left palm stays planted. Inhale, grounded twist. Exhale, high plank pose. Breath in through the nose. Exhale, dropping down, knees, chest, and then chin. Inhale, cobra pose, lift the chest. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, come through, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana, arms sweep up. And exhale, hands draw in, chair twist towards the left side, right elbow comes to the left thigh. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhaling. And on your exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. And on your exhale, low lunge, right foot steps back. Inhale, high lunge, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2 towards the right. Inhale, reach those left fingertips forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, slowly start to reverse your warrior. Left knee stays bent over the left leg. Exhale, cartwheel your arms down, low lunge. Right palm stays grounded. Inhale, grounded twist. And on your exhale, high plank pose. Full breath in. Exhale, dropping down, knees, chest, and then the chin. Inhale, cobra pose, Bhujangasana, lift the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips come up and back. Finding a full breath in, full breath out. One more time, inhale. And exhale. We're going to move into one more little standing series here. Inhale, three-legged dog, kicking your right leg back behind you. And on your exhale, planting your right foot in between your right hands, low lunge. Now making sure your block is somewhere accessible to you, bringing it to the left side of your mat here. Inhale, warrior one, lifting our arms up overhead. And pause here for a moment. So making sure that back left foot is at a slight 10 to 15 degree angle outwards. Your right knee is going to be stacked over your right ankle here. Arms are going to be extended up overhead. Hips are squared towards the wall in front of you. So try to pull that right hip back, push that left hip forward. Hips are nice and even here. And then we're going to move into our Prasarita Padottanasana. We're going to be moving into our Parivrtta Trikonasana. So I like to grab for my block here, bringing my block into my left hand. Left arm extends up overhead. We're going to start to straighten our right leg out here. So right leg is nice and straight. Left leg is also straight. Taking a full breath in, lift your fingertips towards the ceiling. And then on your exhale, with a nice long flat back, you're going to start to reach your left fingertips down towards the floor with the block in your left hand. Placing that block on the inner edge of your right foot. Inhale, lengthen the crown of your head towards the wall in front of you. And then on the exhale, start to twist towards the right side of the room. Reaching your right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Finding this Parivrtta Trikonasana, twisted triangle pose. So we want to actively pull our right hip back, send our left hip forward. Keep our hips nice and squared here. Reaching those right fingertips up towards the ceiling. This is quite an intense stretch on the right side. So you can take a slight bend in the knee, but we want to work towards straightening it, towards lengthening that hamstring muscle. Full breath in, lengthen. Exhale, deepen on the twist. And then slowly starting to release that right arm down. Inhale, rising all the way up. And then on your exhale, we're going to come to the top of our mat. Inhale, mountain pose, arms sweep up overhead. And then on your exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold, melting all the way over the thighs. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway. Exhale, stepping it back into a high plank pose. Full breath in. Exhale, dropping down, knees, chest, and then chin. Inhale, Cobra pose, lift the chin. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Same thing, left side. Inhale, three-legged dog, kick the left leg back and high. Exhale, low lunge, bringing the left foot in between the hands. Spiraling the right foot down, grabbing for that block. Inhale, warrior one on the left side. So making sure that left knee is over the left ankle here. It's going to be a shorter stance than in our warrior two. So if you notice that your back right heel is lifting off the mat, shorten your stance a little bit, about 3 feet of space in between the legs here. Right knee stays bent over, left knee stays bent over the left ankle. And that right foot is at a slight angle this time, 10 to 15 degrees outwards. Squaring our hips evenly towards the wall in front of us. Pull that left hip back. Send that right hip forward. The block is going to be in our right hand this time. Inhale, reach those fingertips up towards the ceiling, straighten out through the left leg. And then on your exhale, with that nice long neutral back, you're going to slowly start to lower the right hand down towards the left foot. Placing that right hand on the block. Inhale, pull the crown of the head towards the wall in front of you. And then on your exhale, opening up, start to reach those left fingertips up towards the ceiling, taking your gaze along with it. So we feel this length through the spine, but simultaneously this twist through the vertebrae. So we're looking up at those fingertips. Again, staying grounded through the right heel. Feel free to shorten the stance if the stretch is feeling a bit too intense. And then working towards keeping that left leg nice and straight. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deep into the twist. And then on your next exhale, gently releasing that left hand up. Inhale, arms right up overhead. And on your exhale, coming to the top of your mats, both feet touching. Inhale, arms sweep up, Tadasana, mountain pose. And on your exhale, forward fold, diving over the thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping it back, high plank pose. Staying for one breath in. Exhale, dropping down to your knees, your chest, and then your chin. Inhale, cobra pose, lift the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And now gently dropping on down to your knees. And then coming all the way down onto your sitting bones. We're going to move into a few spinal twists here, seated on our mats. Starting with our Ardha Matsyendrasana, our half Lord of Fish pose. So we're going to bring our right heel, or I'm going to mirror you guys. So you're going to bring your right heel to your left glute muscle. So the right heel is bent towards the left side. And then you're going to pick your left leg up and place it on top of your right thigh. So your legs are kind of in this pretzel-like twisted position. We want to sit evenly on both of our sitting bones here. So we don't want to dump over towards our right side. We want to make sure that we're grounded through our right sitting bone just as much as we are through our left sitting bone. If it's too intense with both of the legs crossed like this, you can extend your right leg out in front of you so that it's nice and straight and just bend the left leg. Otherwise, keeping that right leg bent in towards the left hip. Your left leg is crossed on top of that right thigh. On the inhale, you're going to slowly start to extend your right fingertips up overhead. Find length first. And then on your exhale, you're going to gently place that right elbow on top of the left thigh, finding that twist and floating your left fingertips to your low back or just down to the mat behind you. Taking your gaze all the way towards the wall behind you. Feeling that twist not only through the thoracic spine, but all the way up into the cervical spine and neck. Inhale, find length. Exhale, deepen in. And then gently releasing, uncrossing that left leg. And we'll take it over to the other side. So that left leg is going to come towards the right heel this time. Or that left leg is going to come towards the right sitting bone, that right hip. And then your right leg is going to cross up and over on top of your left thigh. Again, always an option to keep your left leg extended out in front of you, if that feels better. But if you can take the full variation, go for it. Sitting evenly on both of the sitting bones here. Inhale, slowly starting to reach those left fingertips up overhead. Find length, and then on the exhale, bringing that left elbow onto the right thigh. And then floating those the right fingertips back behind you. Gazing over that right shoulder. Inhale, find length. Exhale, deepen in. Twists are really nice because they open up space in our spine. They make that spine more fluid, providing space in between each vertebra. And then slowly starting to unwrapping the legs. We're going to move into a seated forward fold here, Paschimottanasana, before moving on down to our mats completely. So scooping that flesh out from under the sitting bones, wiggle your sitting bones back, flexing your toes up towards the ceiling, taking a full breath in. And then on your exhale, try to keep length in the spine as you start to reach for your toes. Maybe you grab for your shins or your thighs if that's more accessible. And then keeping length, you're going to gently start to release the forehead towards the shins. Starting to feel that opening through the neck and the upper back. And then gently releasing and softening into this forward fold. We're not yanking on our feet here. We're just gently letting gravity pull us down towards the earth. Working with our exhales, working to release that tension in the body. Just 3 rounds of breath here, nice and slow. On your next inhale, slowly rising all the way up. And then exhale, coming all the way down. Releasing 1 inch at a time. We're going to move into our final stretch here, our happy baby pose. So squeezing both of our knees in towards our chest. Big breath in. And on your exhale, happy baby pose. So grab to the outer edges of the feet here. You can also grab to the back sides of the thighs. And then I like to wiggle left and right. Sometimes I also like to straighten out one leg at a time. Important to find length here. So we want to keep the tailbone and the base of our neck grounded onto the mat. Lengthening once again through the entire spinal column. And at the same time opening up through those hips and the backs of the thighs. And then we're going to pull our knees in towards our chest, move into one final exertion before we find our way into our final Shavasana. So final exertion of class, we're going to wrap our arms on tops of our shins. Scrunch your face, tuck your chin in towards your chest, get really small, and then activate every muscle group in your entire body. Squeeze everything from your toes all the way up into your eyebrows. Full breath in. And on your exhale, final Shavasana, release on down to the mat. Let yourself take up space here. Palms can face up towards the ceiling as you allow yourself to get heavy on your mat with the exhales. Feeling supported by the ground below you. Knowing that you can take these next moments to just rest in the safety of your own being. Not needing to do anything. And gently allowing yourself to start to mingle with the world around you. The sensation of sound. The sensation of breath in your body. Starting to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Feeling that movement work its way up your body. And then gently rolling on to the left side for fetal pose, using your bicep as a pillow here, knees pull in towards the chest. Connecting with the floor for a moment. The ground below you. The quality of earth and solidity and support. And then keeping your eyes closed, slowly pushing yourself up into a tall seat. Where we'll close out our practice together. Drawing your hands into heart center. Feeling the aliveness of your body with every breath that you take in through the nose. And with every exhale. Knowing that you don't have to be on your mat to practice. Knowing that you can take this practice off of your mat into the world with you, no matter where you are. Your breath and your body are two tools that you can always come back to. And on that, we'll take our final breath together. Inhaling through the nose, let the belly expand. Full audible AH, exhale, let it go. Drawing those hands to the third eye center. And bowing together. Thank you.